Automate your decision-making process to avoid less stress. We all have willpower. Some of us have more and some of us have less. And as we go throughout the day, the more decisions we make, the more it dissipates at our willpower. That is why I make most of my decisions the night before, because you avoid decision fatigue. I decide what I'm going to wear. I decide what I'm going to eat. I decide my most valuable priorities are, because it gives me focus in the day. Because where focus goes, energy flows. Especially in a job like investment banking, where you're working on multiple priorities for C-suite executives for some of the best companies in the world, you need all the energy you can, because it's a very high pressurized job. Now, if I know that I'm going to finish a financial model, or I'm going to build a presentation, or I'm going to have certain calls with a client to find out key details as to why they may want to sell or acquire another business, this informs the activities I'm going to do the next day, and there's less surprises. There's less decisions I'm going to make. The only reason why we procrastinate is because we're unsure about the outcome. So to avoid procrastination, we have to have more clarity, because your brain is like a heat-seeking missile. The more clarity you have, the more locked in it's on its target, and this creates less resistance when looking to achieve your goals. But I get it. Sometimes it's not easy to make decisions. Here's a tip I have for you. Whenever you're making a decision, ask yourself, is this going to move me closer to my long-term objective? Am I going to be happy about this in a week, in a month, in a year, in 5 years? I know this requires long-term thinking, but this is going to help you to quickly decide what is important versus what is urgent. If you're someone who works in any busy profession, or you have a business, everything seems urgent, but you need to understand what is important, what is going to move you closer to your goal. So when you're able to ask those questions, you reverse engineer from the desired outcome you look to achieve, and then you're able to make decisions and work on things that actually move you closer to where you want to be. During the last few weeks of prep was definitely the hardest. Physically, mentally, and emotionally. I had to do upwards of 15,000 steps. I was doing 1 hour of fasted cardio. That means cardio on an empty stomach every single day with a 20 kg weighted vest. And I was only on 1,800 calories. I'm around 90 kilos, so that is a low amount of food. And you've got to remember, I was training 5 times a week. So my body was screaming for food. But anytime it got difficult, I would tell myself, who do I want to be? What is my goal? I want to step on stage to bring the best physique I could possibly achieve naturally, whilst working a busy job, not just for me and my mindset, but to help the hundreds or even thousands of people that follow me, that you can achieve your dream physique, or in fact, any goal you desire to achieve, despite the current circumstances you are going through, if you stay focused. Anytime I wanted to have a chocolate bar, anytime I wanted to skip my workout, anytime I didn't feel like having that same boring meal, would the future Solomon be proud of what I'm doing? And that would always circumvent me and bring me back in alignment to what I needed to do in order to achieve my goals. Next, treat everything like it's the most important business meeting of your life. Yes, everything, even your workout. A lot of people ask me how I'm able to achieve a top physique whilst working in investment banking, one of the most demanding careers. And I always say, you find time for what you care about. Here's a quick test. If you want to know why you're not productive, go on your phone, look at your screen time, and that will show you where your attention has been or what you care about. Now, when it comes to gym sessions, I get so frustrated when I go to the gym and I see people on their phones. There's nothing wrong with being on your phone if you're using it for music to empower you for a workout, or you're like me recording content. If you're spending 5 or 10 minutes or even 15 minutes during every workout scrolling on social media, you're not going to be effective. The whole purpose is to go in gym like a gladiator and push your body through sometimes a hard workout so that you can grow, not just physically, but mentally. Now, your gym sessions don't have to be 2 hours. If you actually remove your screen time and focus purely on getting an effective workout, you can be out of the gym within an hour And you could have worked harder than someone that's in the gym for 3 hours because you've been focused. You know exactly what you're going to train. You know exactly the rest breaks and the time you're going to take in between each workout. Often after a great training session, no matter how I felt throughout the day, I always leave empowered. Why? Working out not only has a physical benefit, but it has a mental benefit. It releases endorphins such as dopamine or serotonin, which make you feel good because they're associated with a sense of accomplishment or reward. Now, if you want to achieve a top physique without spending too long in the gym, I would always recommend that you should do compound workouts. Compound workouts are where you work multiple muscle groups simultaneously when you are training. It saves time, it builds strength faster, and it burns more calories than doing single isolation exercises. Instead of going to the gym and purely focusing on arms, do a push-pull leg split. For example, during a leg day, one of my favorite compound exercises to do are squats. There are both primary and secondary muscles that are worked when you do a squat. When doing a squat, the primary muscles you work are your quads, glutes, hamstrings, abductors, and calves. But the secondary muscles include your core, your lower back, in particular your erector spine, and your hip flexors. Compound exercises are great for activities outside the gym because they improve your functionality and your overall fitness. Lastly, make sure that you get your mind right. Visualize success even before your day starts. You should not be reactive. You should be responsible. To be responsible is a compound word, meaning to respond with ability. And don't just write the most important things you need to achieve in a day, but reflect on your goals the previous day. Some of the things that you did well and the things that you didn't do so well. What improvements you can make in your current day to allow you to achieve your goals. Be aware of your energy peaks. A lot of people just go throughout their day, but they're not aware of their energy. In order for me to be successful on the bodybuilding stage whilst working 80 to 100 hours a week, I was very intentional about my energy. I knew when my energy was on a high, and I also knew when my energy was on a low. This came in handy when it came to sticking to my diet plan. Around 6 o'clock in the evening, that is when I would experience hunger pangs and I would look to eat anything in sight. So I would always make sure I had my meals ready so I wasn't reactive, I was responsible with my decision making. This allowed me to stick to the plan even when it became difficult. I removed the resistance blockers or the resistance barriers that made it harder for me to stick to the process. It might be that you want to be able to read, but you always find yourself busy and distracted. Have a book right beside you so that when you wake up, it's easier for you to read. Maybe you're addicted to your phone and you find yourself on social media apps. Delete the apps. Whenever you want to embark on some deep work, turn off your phone or put your phone in another room. If I was working at home, I'll put my phone in the car, or if I was in the office, I'll put it in the drawer or give it to my colleague. Because when my attention was dwindling and my brain wanted me to scroll through my phone and seek a quick burst of dopamine, I had plans in place that made it difficult to access my phone, and in turn, I was able to stay focused on my work. When you lose focus or you procrastinate, there is a switching cost. Every time you go from one task to another, you deplete the resource of energy you need to be able to focus on your work. Especially investment banking, where I was working long hours, if I wanted to get my work done quickly to a high standard, I knew it benefited me to stay focused for as long as possible so I'm able to finish my work on time and to a good standard. Didn't find myself repeating what I had to do. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this blessed you and served you. It's your boy, the Life of Soul, aka the Bodybuilding Banker, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.